Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here to chat about this new Foo Fighters album, Medicine at Midnight. Foo Fighters, legendary alternative rock band who, I don't know, I've never really gotten the hype on these guys. I mean, their early days are fine, their self-titled album is decent, there's some great singles on there. But a lot of the time, Foo Fighters stuff with me just never really clicked. More than often, I certainly enjoy a lot of the singles that got them to where they are today. I certainly have enjoyed Everlong and Learn to Fly as well as others. Outside of that, though, I've never been too crazy about them, especially in the album picture. For every single that I've enjoyed and, gotten curious about an album, I don't think I've ever really truly loved one. By the time we got to, the In Your Honor days or the Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace days, I thought Foo Fighters were putting out some of the more bland music in alternative rock. However, I do give credit where it's due. I don't think Wasting Light is completely bad, but then we got to albums like Sonic Highway and Concrete and Gold, and Jesus, we're right back to square one with these guys. Now, I heard this was going to be more of a pop-oriented album, which confused me and made me scared, but that being said, here we are to chat about this thing. Let me tell you, for the most part, a lot of these singles did not help me get in the mood to review this album. I thought Waiting on a War was awful, probably one of the worst rock singles that I've heard in a while. From a distance, I'll be honest, this song haunted me. This is what I thought we would be getting for an entire album. Look, there are a few sweet lines here and there, but this is just not for me. This is just borderline goofy at points. And instrumentally, I'd be lying if I said this was anything but super tame. Not only that, but halfway through, this track just runs out of steam and just repeats everything from the first couple of minutes. Not only that, but it's just so full of itself. I feel like, there's just this aura of Foo Fighters that this is the rock that you need to hear. Man, there's nothing else like this in the world. And no, that's not the case. And I'll be honest, a lot of the album's catchier moments I actually don't hate, but this album's title track is awful. Between the funky riff and the vocals on Medicine at Midnight, honestly, I'm just not feeling it. It's pretty desperate sounding and kind of my nightmare. No Son of Mine, on the other hand, is what I feared I would hear for a whole bunch of other reasons. Here we get this big, crunchy riff that Foo Fighters fans are going to be saluting the hell out of and talking about how raw it is. But no, I'm going to have to disagree. This is kind of everything that I've just never been really that into about Foo Fighters. That being said, I don't completely hate some of the tracks on this album. As a matter of fact, some of the more pop-oriented moments I don't think are that bad. I don't think Making a Fire as an intro is terrible. I mean, if they are going to go for a slightly more pop-oriented sound, I'd actually rather them at least try and make it catchy, which this certainly is. It's got a ton of life to it, and it's passionately performed. And the choir vocals are really nice, too. Shame, Shame, on the other hand, isn't that bad either. I actually really love the groovy acoustic riff. Not only that, but all around these vocals just are very hypnotic and interesting. Now, say what you will about Dave Grohl's performances, even though I've never been that much of a Foo Fighters guy, 9 times out of 10, his performances are super passionate. But here, he sounds great, this track isn't overblown, and I could see myself enjoying more like this. And Cloudspotter isn't terrible either, especially with just how overblown some of their albums have been in the past. As a matter of fact, the second half of this track is very sharp, almost reminds me of one of their early singles. And Holding Poison, as far as just a great hard rock track, this may be the best here. I love the riff here, and it has a little bit of ruggedness to it. And for me, this just doesn't sound nearly as polished as we usually get. Also, I genuinely think this is one of the best written tracks here. All of that while simultaneously adhering to the themes of the album and remaining super catchy. I don't hate that. But overall, this album still isn't for me. While I will say that overall, from my taste, this is a better album for Foo Fighters, they don't really, come full circle with me. I think Chasing Birds is awful. This is so cheesy, and I swear, if you put this on the new Weezer album, I feel like they would have rocked it. But this is just really unforgivable and really boring. And some of the cliches here and lyrics, oh good lord. and Love Dies Young as a finale. Once again, Jesus, this is so cheesy. And that's coming from a guy that thinks that rock should be cheesy sometimes. And you know what? It's a shame because I don't think the instrumental here is that bad. It actually, excites me at points, and this chorus is good too. It just doesn't come full circle for me. Overall, though, I will say that I think this is one of the more listenable albums Foo Fighters have come out in a while with. And you know what? That might put me in a very slim minority here, but you need to take into consideration I haven't enjoyed a Foo Fighters album probably ever. As a matter of fact, I can't think of the last time I truly was able to sit through one. But the tracks here that are good are easily the catchiest bunch of singles they put together in a while and just really well written. But between the cliches left and right and this full of itself atmosphere that Foo Fighters just can't seem to get away from, just make this still not for me. Overall, this is still easier for me to listen to and appreciate a good chunk of it, but still, it's not for me. I'm feeling a decent 6 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.